Well, hello good people and welcome back to the channel. I gotta say that yesterday's episode of Married at First Sight San Diego was extremely draining. I mean, it was one of the most draining episodes from this season, and that's saying a lot. But for this video, I want to revisit my observations with Stacia and Nate, and I want to provide the audience with one man's perspective on the challenges that Nate and Stacia have faced up until this point. This is kind of an impromptu video, and it was something that I had on my heart to say, and I hope that my opinion on this matter will be received positively, because at the end of the day, I truly want Nate and Stacia to succeed. But without any further delay, let's jump right in. Now, in my opinion, the case of Stacia and Nate is very interesting, because I see a number of parallels that they share with many couples of today. Some of those parallels include men who date women that make more money, women who expect men to follow their lead, and newly formed couples that project their past issues onto their partners. In my opinion, when I first started watching the season, neither Stacia nor Nate were truly ready to get married at first sight. Both had extremely high standards for their potential partner, and both had issues with trust in their past relationships. Now, while Nate is far from perfect, I do give Nate credit for the growth that he has shown since the beginning of the show. In the very beginning of the season, I didn't have an ounce of hope for brother Nate. Back then, he seemed like a party guy, and the standards that he required to be attracted to his potential wife was very laughable. And during the honeymoon, Nate seemed to be doing his own thing instead of reading the room and checking on his wife Stacia. But since the honeymoon, Nate has made significant progress. He seems more attentive to Stacia's needs, and he has shown the ability to compromise on serious things, like the need to seek therapy and the need to better show his emotions. However, when it comes to the things that Nate wants from Stacia in order for him to fall in love with her, such as peace, being his best friend, being a partner in crime, and receiving sex, Stacia has not shown any ability to compromise or give Nate some semblance of happiness. And ladies, this is where I think some of you mess up when it comes to your dealings with men that may not be 100% of what you want, but they have a great deal of potential and they can give you what you need. It's the happy wife, happy life philosophy, in which a man's sole purpose is to do whatever it takes to make his wife happy, even if it comes at the expense of his own happiness. To the ladies out there, a man who truly loves you will make the necessary sacrifices in order to ensure that you are happy. He will also make sure that you feel secure and that you don't need anything. But if you then turn around and play hardball with that man by not giving him what he wants, then it's just a matter of time before the relationship turns toxic and the guy either cheats to find what he's lacking in the relationship, or he stays in the relationship and ultimately lashes out because he didn't want to cheat and have his needs met. And no, I'm not here to condone cheating in any way, but as stated before, one of the main reasons that men cheat is because the side chick is offering him the peace and support that the wife or girlfriend failed to give him. Now, I don't believe that Nate will cheat on Stacia, but I do believe that he is a good catch for a number of women out there, and those women will gladly give him the things that Stacia won't. So going forward in the show, I would like to see if Stacia has the capacity to honor Nate and let him know that he has her support and love. Because what she's doing up until this point is not working. And since we're on the topic of what Stacia is doing, I'm just going to be very blunt with this. Stacia is a damn fool for the games that she's playing with Nate. I noticed that in last night's episode, as well as previous ones, Stacia takes pride in challenging Nate because, in my opinion, Stacia feels the need to be right all the time and have Nate submit to her. But what she views as challenging is viewed by Nate as lack of trust. Ladies, there's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to find a guy that's right for you. But the type of games that Stacia is playing with Nate is for little kids. Nate is a big boy, and there were a few times in last night's episode where he was able to cut through Stacia's BS and find out what she was really trying to say. One example was when Stacia was trying to probe Nate for information on things like his past relationships and whether or not he was in love with Stacia. And at the same time, she was passing judgment on every answer that Nate gave. I'm glad that Nate was able to shut down the madness by asking Stacia, "Are you afraid that I won't fall in love with you?" To which Stacia says yes. Now, why Stacia couldn't have just told Nate that up front is up for debate. But it's clear that Stacia has a problem with communication. And ladies, let me just tell you that most of us guys fully appreciate direct communication. There's really no need to dance around any issue that you may have with a guy, because beating around the bush will only make matters worse. But another comment that Stacia made in earlier episodes was that many of the guys that she has dated in the past were simply intimidated by her. But the more and more I see Stacia on the show, the more I realize that she's full of it. I'm willing to bet the house that most of those men that Stacia has dealt with in the past really had no issues with the money that she made, because deep down inside, they knew that she wasn't going to be spending much of that money on them. I think that Stacia challenged those guys the same way she continues to challenge Nate, and those guys either left her high and dry or she cut them off. And the whole, "these guys are intimidated by me" line was just something that Stacia needed to tell herself in order to avoid taking accountability for her own failures in the relationship. I think that when it comes to Stacia, what it all boils down to is how her outlook on making money and being in control has warped her thinking when it comes to the concept of love and marriage. Stacia shows this in a number of ways. Shortly after the wedding, Stacia tells Nate that she would like for him to sign a postnup so that she can protect herself in the event that things don't work out between the two of them. She says that if Nate doesn't sign the postnup, then she would ask for a divorce. Then there was Stacia's strong desire to have children ASAP, regardless of how Nate felt about the matter. Nate's objections to the matter were extremely valid because in his mind, he's wondering if Stacia knows what kind of responsibility comes with having kids, and he also wants to earn more money, and this is in the event that if something happens to Stacia while she's pregnant, he can step up and pay the bills. In my opinion, Stacia plays down Nate's feelings about this because she feels the need to be in control. And this has been a pattern with Stacia throughout the season. Even though Stacia is a beautiful woman, every man has his breaking point, and not too many men like to be controlled or manipulated by a woman like this. In closing, I know that I spent a great deal of time talking about Stacia and not Nate. This video was definitely not a session aimed at bashing Stacia while overlooking Nate's issues. It was more of an opportunity to highlight the mistakes that Stacia has made while married to Nate, and how those issues could prevent Nate from getting to a place where he could work on his own issues. In my opinion, there are some real life lessons that we as fans of the show can learn from Stacia and Nate's experience, and we could also apply those same lessons in our own lives. But at the end of the day, there's a chance that Nate and Stacia might not even be compatible, and that's fine. Stacia may also get to a point where she wants 100% of the things that she's asking from a man, and she won't settle until she gets that, which is also within her right to do so. But in my opinion, Stacia cannot attempt to control the man that she's committed to, then fail to accept responsibility when her relationships don't work out the way she wants them to. She is not entitled to the outcomes that she wants. And real men simply are not content with being manipulated and controlled by somebody like her. Well, that's just my opinion on the matter, and that marks the end of my video. What are your thoughts on Stacia and Nate? Was I too hard on Stacia? Was I not hard enough on Nate? Feel free to leave your comments below in the comment section, and I'll be sure to reply to each and every comment. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe. Peace.